Hi and welcome to the latest episode of Game On with Athletics Weekly and the Scotsman. We are day 6 of the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow 2026. Day 3 of the athletics is about to get underway. To talk about everything that happened on a very eventful evening last night, I'm joined by my colleague Jasmine Collett. Jasmine, have you dried out yet?
Almost. It was quite wet, wasn't it? It was not fun, and I don't envy the crowd that were sat in the stands there that had no shelter whatsoever. But fair play to them. A lot of them did stay, especially the Aussies, because it was quite a good night for them.
Yeah, it's a very stereotypically British or Scottish thing to talk about the weather, but we really do need to talk about last night's weather because it played such a major part in what happened. Disrupted the women's high jump final that had to be delayed by about an hour and a half. It disrupted the women's hammer final. The first 2 or 3 efforts, no one could get it out of the cage because of the amount of water in the cage. But it didn't stop the sprinters last night. We had incredible races in the women's and the men's 100-metre final. In the men's race, we had Emmanuel Eseme from Cameroon. He even broke the games record with his run of 9.83. Timing his run perfectly to come through at the end.
Yeah, a great semi-final from him as well, actually. He was one in the mix zone that said he actually came here looking for a silver or a bronze medal, and then he ran that time sub 9.90 again in the semi-final, and that's when it clicked for him and he realised, actually, I'm good enough here to go for that gold medal. And he came through and he did just that for Cameroon as well. There was a few of those fans in the stands as well, which was really nice to see. But yeah, what a performance from him. It was great.
I haven't raced. I think this is the first time I raced like in this kind of conditions. It was horrible, but I didn't want to make these of so much trouble because we were all running the same conditions, and I wanted to be that person with the least complaints. And I think that's what worked for me. I just had to, forget about the race, just think about the good things, think about the time I did in the semi-finals. I'm like, yeah, I can do this, so just go for it.
Yeah, you finished that, you just set a games record at 9.83. Now coming to this game, you saw the conditions, but did it look feasible, very achievable for you?
Well, at first when I was coming here, I was coming to get a medal, but the things changed at the semi-finals because I got a very chilled 9.89, going easy, and I was like, well, maybe I shouldn't just target for a medal, maybe I should target the gold because that's what everybody talks about. Nobody thinks about who came second or who came third. So it's like, okay, this guy won the Commonwealth, and I think that's what I just did. I executed my race.
In 2 years, we'll be in LA. You just won gold here, games record. Does that give you any boost, psychologically?
Yeah, psychologically, I think I'm good, and we'll just have to take time to think about LA.
So we'll see you in LA.
Hopefully.
Were you ever worried after the slow start? You didn't get the quickest start. Did you panic?
Yeah. I didn't panic because I said to myself, I know I'm not so much a good starter. It's surprising that I always get to the World Championship indoor finals, and I was like, just execute your race. They're gonna go, but build your speed, and somehow later you're gonna catch them.
And what does this mean for Cameroon?
I think for Cameroon, it's going to be celebration right now. So I just have to keep a low head, before thinking about the celebration.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it was great because it looked like it was going to go to Australia's Lackey Kennedy. I think he thought he had it as well, but Eseme's the last 4 or 5 metres just brought him right through in the end.
Yeah, Lackey Kennedy, still a great athlete, and he's just coming through, isn't he? I think everyone kind of did have their eye on him, but yeah, Eseme just pulled it out of the bag and he did it. And I think he'll be probably still celebrating as we speak. And I don't blame him because what a performance it was. But fast times all round in the sprints, which I don't think anyone was expecting at all.
No, considering the amount of water that's on the track, the one thing we would say is that the wind completely dropped last night, which is why the rain took so long to shift, which definitely helps the sprinters. Of course, it's a brand new track as well. But Amy Hunt in the women's 100, I think she's told some of the written press that her hands were kind of underwater in the starting blocks, and it was some of the lanes, it was puddle to puddle the whole way through.
How much are you enjoying it?
I love the 100. I was just stood on that start line kind of grinning because the 100 is so much fun. I think even when it goes wrong, it's the main event. It's the one that I think maybe everyone wishes they could do in track and field. So to be good at it and to have fun and to come away with another sub 11 clocking in those kind of horrible Glaswegian conditions. It's something I'm super proud of, and me and the 100 are getting on really well this season, so hopefully we can carry that on and I can fix the first half and we can have a lovely time together at Birmingham.
But yet again, also in the women's race, we had Zoe Hobbs, Games record 10.93. Amy ran 10.98 for silver. There was an Australian record as well for Tori Lewis. She went under 11 seconds for the first time. So it didn't stop, and it was another amazing race. It didn't hamper the sprinters.
No, exactly. It was a really great race, especially for New Zealand coming out with that gold medal. That was great. But from a British perspective with Amy, I mean, I think she did want that gold medal. That's what she was after. But still, that silver medal is a huge achievement. It was her second fastest time ever in the 100, I believe. She's someone that we're obviously so used to seeing in that 200. But now she's beginning to actually get known quite a bit more in this 100, and that silver medal does it for her. Amani as well, we have to mention.
Yes.
She was fourth. I've never actually spoken to someone in the mixed zone who was so happy to be fourth, which was really nice to see. She's come back from the injury that she has, and that was her quickest time she ran last night in 3 years. So the pair of them as training partners walk away with one silver medal and a fourth place, but I think they'll be happy.
Yeah, Amani Lansiko was celebrating. Her dad was in the stands very close to where we were sitting last night. She was loving every moment of it. I think it's a satisfaction about being able to sort of remember that you can still compete if you've had injury problems coming back from these kind of things. It's often a reminder to the athletes that they've still got it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just to come out here in front of, I know she's Team England, but in front of a UK crowd, I think that is a big moment for her. To realise that she's back where she belongs. She's obviously hitting that peak, and that time last night did it just for her. She was really close to that bronze medal, but yeah, as we mentioned yesterday, didn't we, that they're training partners over in Italy with Marco, and it's working clearly. The pair of them. Imani mentioned actually last night in the mixed zone, they even warm up together, they do everything together before a race. So for her to perform like that was great to see.
Yeah. One event where the weather's maybe not such a big deal is the distance events, the men's 10,000.
Yeah.
Distance runners are used to running in absolutely anything that's thrown at them. Like the women's race, an Australian winner, Kai Robinson. Like the women's race, dramatic late finish. His sprint for the line from about 200 metres out was maybe a little bit tighter than Alice Davis the other night, but he put in the kick just when he needed it.
He did. He did put in the kick, and he brought it home for Australia again, as you said. There's 2 gold medals now in that 10,000, and there's actually a lot of them here. I don't know what they would have thought about the weather last night. I did overhear someone saying that they swam home last night. It was that bad. But yeah, to bring home 2 golds last night, another great performance. I feel like we also have to mention David Malarkey as well, from the Isle of Man.
Yeah.
What a performance from him. He was another one. He was in that group, and in the last lap we turned to each other and said he looks really strong, and in that 200 he had that kick in him, he had the legs, and he took that bronze medal home for the Isle of Man, which he's not done yet though. He's still got the 5,000, which he made very clear in that mixed zone, but yeah, historic medal for his islands. They'll be celebrating. I'm sure he's one that has come from the NCAA system as well, clearly working. He is the British champion in the 5,000, so I think we'll all have our eyes on him in the 5,000 as well. Not to put pressure on, but yeah, he can enjoy that moment from last night, which was great too. Yeah,
I should add, of course, that the women's champion was called Rose Davis, not Alice Davis, as I've just said there. But there was also, in terms of the British runners, another emotional one for Andy Butchart, who did his best in the sort of the first half to make the running, but just couldn't quite hang on when the pace really picked up in the latter stages.
Yeah, I know we keep talking about the weather, but I think he was thinking, this actually might give me a little bit of advantage here, being the one from Scotland. But yeah, when he walked out in front of that stadium, you could see how much he was enjoying it, and taking in that crowd. He did say he thought he was in better shape, and perhaps he is tonight. Last night just wasn't his night. he's another one that's still got the 5,000 to go. So a bit like Megan Keith actually in her 10,000. Both of them perhaps didn't perform how they wanted to, but they've now got a feel of the track, they've got a feel of the home crowd, what it's like to go out there, and yeah, hopefully he puts on a performance that he wants in the 5,000.
It was a tough one tonight. I thought I was in better shape than that, but here it was fun to race around the home crowd. I'll do it again on Saturday, but I'll never experience that sort of thing again. And yeah, it was very enjoyable. Yeah.
Just talk us through the conditions. How tough was it? I suppose you're used to this Scottish weather, but what was it like even waiting and just seeing the conditions deteriorate?
I mean, I actually was wishing for the rain beforehand, and it maybe came a bit too much. The guys were like sweeping the track whilst we were going round, I saw. So some laps were wetter than others, but no, it was good, and the weather made it a bit more like, I don't know, give it a bit of atmosphere, so it was nice.
What does it mean to wear the Team Scotland vest in Glasgow?
Here, it's not very often you get to wear your Scotland kit, so whenever the opportunity comes, and I grab it with two hands, and yeah, it was enjoyable, and the atmosphere, the hotel is good, the team atmosphere is good, and yeah, the Scottish athletes are going to put on a show for sure.
You took it out early on, was a tactic, and how do you feel that went for you?
It wasn't a tactic to take it out, because it was just a tactic to stay out of trouble. Last night it was quite yo-yo-y, the women's 10k, so I thought if I stay near the front I can kind of control that pace in a way by either pushing the person in front of me or like slowing up if I had to. But I was basically just staying out of trouble. We weren't running relatively quick the first half, it was smooth and no one wanted to really take it on, so I was comfortable up there. So yeah.
Up to like maybe 5 or 6, you know, you were all bunched together at that point. Do you think that, you know, you go for it towards the end?
You know, I felt okay at the start for sure. When the move came with like 5 laps to go, I literally didn't have much in the legs, and I thought I thought that it might slow down again, and it didn't. So it never came back to me, and that was all she wrote, to be honest. A bit frustrated with how I reacted at that point, but here it's done now, so I can't do anything now. So yeah.
Just a few days now to recover, as you said, for the 5,000.
Yeah, that's it. Go back, recover, fuel up, and then go again on Saturday.
How do you pick yourself up mentally for the 5,000 now?
Here, the crowd does it for me. Like, I've got family here, all my mates are supporting, so like, yeah, I'll come back in the 5k, hopefully put on a better performance than tonight, but we'll see what happens.
I'm sure you've raced at Scotstoun before, but it's a new track as well. How did you find that, albeit the conditions?
Do you know what? I felt the track beforehand just to see what it felt like, and everyone was saying how fast it is. Yeah, it's a nice track. Like, we're very lucky to have it here and to have this facility and host it, but the track is very quick, and I think we saw that in the sprints tonight. So yeah, hopefully there's a lot more performances to come.
Yeah, and we mentioned the women's high jump earlier on. That, yeah, as I say, it was an hour and a half delay. The athletes went away, had to come back. During the first part of the competition, there was quite often a lot of camera close-ups of athletes sort of huddling together under blankets and everything. When it did finally, come to a climax, there was a brilliant battle between Nicola Olaslagers and Eleanor Patterson, and it was Nicola Patterson, I should say, and she came out on top.
Yeah, no, Eleanor and Nicola, the great matchup between the two of them. I maybe would have put my money on Nicola actually, but to see that Aussie battle between the pair of them, they're obviously such close friends as well, and I'm sure are used to obviously matching up against each other, but yeah, to see the pair of them like that, Eleanor put on a great performance actually, a really, really great performance. I don't think we were expecting to see her jump as high as she did, especially in those conditions, but yeah, they were obviously stood on top of the podium. Eleanor was stood on top of the podium with Nicola and the Aussie anthem as well for the pair of them, which was really nice to see. It was later on in the night, but there was still quite a big Aussie presence, wasn't there, waiting around for that medal ceremony. So yeah, great high jump final.
Yeah, and it was a record equaling, a games record equaling 1.96 metres that won it in the end there. The other major final of the night was the women's hammer. Cameron Rogers, very similar to her fellow Canadian Ethan Katzberg, could do no wrong. That's 3 Commonwealth titles in a row. I'm assuming that's probably the worst conditions she's ever thrown in, but she got the job done too. Yeah,
she did well as well with the conditions. It wasn't, as you mentioned earlier, the hammer throw, the first 2 hammers went straight into the net, so we were a bit apprehensive on what it was going to be like, and that circle as well was like a pond essentially going into it, but yeah, we knew that she'd perhaps be at the top. It was just how well she was going to do, and she performed exceptionally well. yeah, it was great to see, wasn't it?
Another games record as well. It was 74.91 metres. So we've got another very packed schedule coming ahead this evening. The weather's looking slightly kinder today, so we shall see what unfolds. Some of the main things to look out for, I mean, there's the women's 3,000 metre steeplechase sort of rounds everything off tonight. Be really interesting to see how England's Elise Thorner gets on. She's one of Europe's best at the moment, but she's up against athletes like Kenya's Faith Cheretich tonight.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this steeplechase final, to be honest, especially to see Elise. As you said, she's someone that's had a great few seasons the last few years, but this season seems to really be clicking for her. She had that great run over in LA at the beginning of the season, which puts her second, obviously, on the UK all-time list, just behind Lizzie Bird on that British record, but she won't be eyeing that today, of course. It will be those medals that she's looking for. Strong competition from the Kenyans, of course, but yeah, she's obviously based in Manchester, isn't she, with Hannah Nuttall, for example, with the New Balance team, and it seems to be working great for her. The team have a really good setup over there, and hopefully she can pull it out of the bag tonight. She's another one that's doing the Europeans as well, so she's got both of them, which I think is good to see. You know, she's out there competing and showing what she's made of, so fingers crossed.
Yeah, and we'll know this evening the winner of the women's heptathlon. That action's all about to get underway as we speak right now, so we won't know for sure who's in pole position. Kate O'Connor's looking very strong. Really interesting battle building with her and Jade O'Dowda, and Niamh Emerson also being in the picture as well.
Yeah, it's great. Obviously we don't have Katarina, so I think we were a bit apprehensive, or perhaps the crowd was a bit apprehensive of what they were going to see, but both Jade and Niamh have really kind of pulled it out the bag for Team England and are putting on a good performance and a good battle with Kate, of course. I think Jade is only about 49 points behind Kate O'Connor, so there's still so much to play for today and tonight, of course, with that 800 being the final event. And if we could get to England as well up there, that would be great for them. But Kate O'Connor is just phenomenal as well. She's really pulling it out the bag, should I say, especially in those conditions last night.
Yeah, and you mentioned the 800, and there's the semi-finals of the women's 800 tonight, so it's not a final, but we like looking for clues when it comes to the middle distances. We will have Georgia Hunter-Bell of England will be racing against Gemma Reekie of Scotland again tonight.
Yes, they were together in the heats, weren't they? Which was a bit different for us to see at championships like this. And of course we have Odira as well from Kenya, the world champion, in those semi-finals as well. So I think between the three of them, it could be quite interesting to see. Obviously in the final we've got the semis first. Georgia's mixing it up, isn't she, this year with the 8 and the 15. We're usually used to seeing her maybe focusing on one or the other, but it's nice to see her doing the differences, especially with Keely not here as well. So she'll be hoping for a good performance, as will Gemma, and we've got Erin Wallace, of course, from Scotland as well, who's made it into those semi-finals too.
Yeah, so lots for us to write about again, lots for us to talk about, lots of people for us to talk to, and we will speak to you again next time.